Let's go!
Hey everybody, Coach Scott here, and today I want to talk to you about motivation and inspiration and how those two really work, because many people have asked me, you know, how do you stay motivated year after year after year? And again, I want to talk to you the difference today between motivation and inspiration. You see, motivation is something that comes from the outside in. It's something that you see or read, or something that you might have saw a video on, or somebody may have shared a kind word with you, or just got you motivated to act. And that pushes you. That's a push. But inspiration comes from the inside out. That's something that's pulling you. Even when the motivation isn't there, the feeling of motivation there, or the emotion of motivation isn't there, it's something that pulls you towards something. And again, I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm not always motivated to get up every day. I'm not always motivated to work out first thing in the morning. I'm not always motivated to shoot these videos. But guess what? I am inspired to do it because I have a calling that's pulling me towards something. It's pulling me to this. And so even when my feelings aren't there, even when it's cold outside or it's really hot outside, I find myself doing the same things over and over again. And that in and of itself has created a habit and a routine for me. And that's the secret sauce to motivation. It's the secret sauce to motivation. And as a coach, I've studied this type of human behavior now for almost 25 years. And I've often asked myself, why do some people reach their goals, reach their dreams? Why do they push themselves, and why are they pulled into action? And other people don't even seem to try. They seem to give up so easy. Now I'm not talking about people that have disabilities or mental disorders. I'm talking about regular people, regular everyday people like you and me. And I ask myself, why do people know they need to do something, but they don't? They want to start a business, but they never act. They want to become a teacher or a doctor or a lawyer or, a firefighter or police. They've got a dream in their heart, and it's deep and rooted in them. They know, and it's just pulling them and pulling them and pulling them. But ultimately, they do nothing. They never act. And I've heard it said, if you don't act on your life will act on you. And the reason that they don't act, it's not because they don't have the money. It's not because they don't have the time. It's the secret sauce of how you stay motivated. It's because they don't have the self-confidence. The self-confidence. The rest are excuses we make to hide the fact that we don't really believe in our dream and we don't believe in ourselves. My mentor once told me that if you don't start talking about your dream, if you don't start talking out loud about what God's put in your heart, then you don't really believe it yourself. Because once you have the self-confidence and the belief in your dream, it will force you to take action. There is no way you can sit on the sideline. If you sit on the sideline too long, it will paralyze you right in the middle of the road, and you will live in a state of regret for the rest of your life. But once you start, once you say, I am going to take action, you make the decision to live now, and you take action, what you'll find out is that you will well be on the way to your destiny and purpose. So the question is, how do I get started? How do I have self-confidence? How do I stay inspired even when the motivation isn't there? The first thing you have to do is you have to know your why. You got to know what your purpose is, because without purpose, it is just a dream. And again, if you don't have a strong enough why to keep you going, what will happen is when things get tough, and they will get tough, anytime you start pursuing your dream, it's going to be tough. But guess what? If you will make sure your why is bigger than your how, it will always be your rod and staff in the valley when times get tough. And number two, you have to understand what you believe. You've got to understand your belief system, because your belief system will set the course on how you take action. Now, most people, unfortunately, live out of what they know, and they don't live out of what they don't know. Again, and what you don't know should never limit for what you could know. So again, most people only act out of what they know, the experiences that they've had in the past. And again, part of this is their history and their past, and they haven't learned the process to release your history, and what it does, it chokes the life out of your future. So don't limit what you could know by only what you know right now. So you got to get exposed to some different things. You got to get exposed to different types of people and different ways of thinking. And number 3, action and experience. And this is a process, by the way. You know, so for instance, if you're waiting for something right now in your life to happen, and you're just waiting and waiting and waiting for it to happen, more than likely it's not going to happen. You have to go out and you have to get that thing. And one thing I've learned is that waiting is not a spectator sport. When you're waiting for a breakthrough, or you're waiting for an opportunity, or you're waiting for a door to open, you need to be active in that waiting. You need to speak positive, like you know what's going to happen. You need to you need to act like, you know, we know what's going on. And again, you don't have to know everything, but you need to begin to tell yourself that whatever it is, you're going to make sure the dots connect. And you need to work like it's going to happen. And most importantly, you need to believe and expect it to happen. It's just like when you're expecting, you know, to have a guest in your house or somebody come see you. And in the summertime is a perfect example, because we have a lot of people that come in and out of our house in the summer, a lot of old friends, old acquaintances, a lot of people visit us. We don't wait till they show up before we decide to start cleaning the house and getting it prepared for the visit. No, you start days, and sometimes people even start weeks in advance of preparing the house and getting the food, and you make sure the house is clean. You go to the grocery store and you get all the necessary supplies and food that you might need for their visit. You have your why, you have a purpose, and now you're taking action to prepare for those guests. Why do you do this? Because you're expecting them to show up. You're expecting something to happen. And in the same way, that's the same attitude we need to have while we're waiting for God's promises to come to pass in our lives. We don't have to be motivated every day to do what we know is right. We don't have to be motivated to keep our word. We don't have to be motivated to, when we tell somebody we're going to do something, that we do it. You see, God's promises are waiting for your faith to go into action. And the Bible says without faith, works is dead. So understand and identify your why. Get all the information that you need. Start developing routines and habits that you need to make sure that your inspiration is bigger than your motivation. And then keep standing. Keep believing. Keep working towards your goals, because your destiny is always on the way and your life is always a road that's under construction. And if you'll do this, if you're going to believe in yourself, if you'll begin to talk to yourself, if you begin to gather information, expose yourself to new opportunities, new people, this will give you the self-confidence to go into a new level of your destiny in this year. And if you'll do that, I do believe and declare that you won't need motivation very long. It'll be the inspiration inside of you that pulls you to be all that you were created to be. So God bless you guys. Take care. We'll see you soon.